Okay, so data from the US Census Bureau would most likely be secondary data. If you worked for the US Census Bureau, then it would be primary data. Data from experiments that I run in the behavioral lab, to me, this type of data would be what? It is primary data. The bottom of my GAP receipt tells me to go to a website to complete a survey. For GAP, what kind of data is this? Yeah, it's primary data. Data in a newspaper's weather report. You open up the newspaper, you see that tomorrow it's going to be 40 degrees. I don't know if it is or not. I hope so for you guys that it's going to warm up a little bit. And sunny, lots of sunniness tomorrow. To you, this would be secondary data. If you were the weatherman who actually was reporting this, it would be primary data for you. Labor statistics, most likely, it would be secondary data. If you worked for the labor department and you were creating these statistics and reporting them out, primary data. Your responses to questions on exam 1. As I mentioned, I look at this data and I statistically analyze it. So to me, this data would be what? Primary data. Nielsen collects data from 1,000 shoppers and publishes the results on its website. You or go ahead and your company has a subscription to look at this data. To you, what kind of data is it? Secondary data, right? Because you're not collecting the data, somebody else is. But if you worked for Nielsen, then it becomes primary data. Does this make sense? It should. So you always have to think about who is collecting the data. If it's not you, then it's secondary data. Now, again, depending on the perspective of each of these, it would switch from being primary or secondary. So on an exam, on a quiz, I will make it very clear, just like I did right now, whose perspective you have.